Minimum year crop, I think they be 2022 or this with the to me X handle. So a bit baby. Most of the buildings, storage buildings in Accra or let me say the capital are standing by the grace of God.
Oh,
the young people in Nika Castle, Castle, 10 near the Bakwa. I should die before go Accra.
Most of the buildings in Accra are standing by the grace of God.
Michelle, interview on that bulletin to scare, to let people see the reality on the grounds and the fact that as a Shanghai to do. You say young coupon, say magic my a brown my in dear say, yes, any say, we never back. One in say, we never back. In China, say, the more now we are getting overpopulated, and the more that easier than a high-rise buildings. The more we still do some neglect. Now, they can issue maybe some time back. This is about almost 6 years. Some of my own built environment guys came hard at me, but they didn't understand. I would let my main some NC I think with the benefit of a lot of years now, they will understand. Yeah, me say we don't have engineers at the assemblies. I repeat, we don't have engineers in most of our assemblies across the country.
And you're from engineers, no me again.
Most of them are QS or building technologies are or more department from engineering department, a works department. Because to be certified as an engineer, first and foremost, should have done a civil engineering course or electrical engineering, whatever. Let's just put in as a building. So civil engineering. There's nobody who can be a QS and I say any other subject be any related to engineering. That's when you go to the Ghana Institute of Engineering now, you have to meet a certain criteria to be given the ING title or ENGR title. Well, and you know, let's be factual. If you overtake assembly there 5, na course is here, like I say, I'm friend this is engineer. No, are they civil engineers? Na, in the because anytime you cast the who assembly. Not say civil engineer and not a structural engineer. That is why the same Land Use and Special Planning Act at 2016 at 925, a memo option says a dime be some strategy be assembly no. Not say a idea you are supposed to co-opt in some other professionals to come and vet your drawings for you at a fee, which is charged or which is passed on to the developer. And you know, there was some minimum buildings there. I mean, say 1 story, 2 story there. You don't necessarily have to be a civil engineer, a structural engineer to be able to at least have a fair idea about the approval. Now let's be specific with the NODC and billboards are able. Share how many times mass this telecom mass at a book form apart from last time BBC was attacked there about 3 years ago back community see that in Bisua
yeah
I keep records how many times max are more than 50 meters 40 meters high because institutions in the telcos for they have a division because they know what involved in installing one mask.
Engineer, what am I saying? Kabeti me dina ya say enkomo no eya de no na wa homa no twetwesie. Se kabeti me dina ya ma me mani beje. Me ba chawan to so wada ma.
Okay. Tell me say telcos for no because of the cost involved in constructing one mask. And then the cost involved, the mask no go to not say and could be crampuna say the cost of saying disconnection and how their company would be felt, in terms of revenue they will lose. They don't joke with their process of installation.
No crap.
I will say on where they decline the soil test. I will say baby, I'm person is mask, assassin and Katana Honey is saying, Yankopon and Caso Bon assassin. Or was assassin on the Bibriu, who 9 meter beer assassin on this. Every meter I take from where I'm standing, the texture of the land, the CBR, whatever the bearing capacity change. You need to know the location that you are going to put up the structure. And you run what we call the geotechnical investigation report to know, say, every meter from where I'm standing down the ground, what is the bearing capacity that can sustain the load I'm going to exert on it. And also, who is information? I know they are much structural engineer. Nobody say, oh, yeah, mass narco level being 40 meters ana. Or the factor load of the existing structure, including wind. Wind, load, wind in Famana Bono, it's the load. So when you have a billboard, now say a more than 20 meters high, giant billboard, now when you say in the direction that they are trying to place it, and Famana Boa, it will absorb all the wind. You need to be able to design for that wind. You design for what we call seismicity, earthquake, earth tremor. And yet the severity of earthquake, the small magnitude and which can be contained by the structure now we know. And let me share videos about social media. I cannot just give a holistic report about what happened at the ANC area. But what I saw, picture about Koana Foundation, I saw one of the foundation to be very, very, very shallow.
As I said, Uncle from ye.
Yes, but where I'm sitting now, unless we interrogate what was the bearing capacities that was given to the foundation. So I'm not conclusive. How many of the foundations were digged? Is there about 20 of them? Almost here. In fact, we do the sec area, if it be hard pan. Material, I know say Abusian I consolidate, I know say a rock, I know say a near by Abusian Kitina, a boom, I didn't. It will 2%. We know could be 1 meter and 0.9, we shatter a bono, 18, papa. And also, it means your foundation is going to be shallow. If you have a foundation like that now, what are the things you're supposed to do? Say, then a tiana say a kakra. Sometimes, because of say it doesn't take a lot of wind because a broad, a wide. But if the building is going high, this foundation, there's a way we have to design it. I'm going to create that was through the hard pan material to have even though the ground is so solid, you have done some other processes. I'm a foundation. I go very deep. Which is not known. So I'm just using this hypothetically. But in all this, the first question is that today there is the more whatever issue. They have to quickly engage engineers to come and just pick information from that right now before we start because of multi.
But engineer, my saw this question and started training. Why is it that all of this and Yama outside removing and don't bet me up why I'm a built environment, I don't see a CBBA. You bet me alpha compass but we seem to be avoiding all of these necessary procedures, necessary steps. What seems to be the issue?
Very sad.
Because you see, I am sad because when you mentioned, sir, most of the high-rise buildings in Ghana are standing by the grace of God. It means that
some of the buildings are not. Okay, let me wait. I mean, some of the buildings we have engaged in Accra. Yeah, some structural integrity analysis. Two major structures. But because those structures have been corrected, pinned, and retrofitted, but Bako, nay, young Jumano, say Tipatra, a chimo, can't know, then I will see the 4-story building. The car question, I know as a also. It was so. And we engage in 2021. You can investigate and pay do in the because the tipper truck which is just passing around, the building vibrates. But we're able to take a lot of risk. We do what we call scaffolding, strong scaffolding, retrofitting, investigation manual or correctly. But do you know the funny thing? Because that's the 3 million Ghana cedis. He had to use more than 1 point Ghana cedis to correct something he would have done from day one and can only say baby 200,000 Ghana cedis. Yes. I'm telling you, see, if you know how people are struggling with their structures, and I will say, I then go Accra and I say the Ghana. The company before, they will let you go and run a structural integrity of the existing building. Say, I want to know what what you say. Before this Kabakoto started,
yeah.
These big companies, these multi they don't just buy a building in Accra or anywhere in Ghana like that. Any existing structure, they will engage at least 2 persons, the structural engineer as well as the materials engineer, to look at the foundation for him, to look at the as-built building, what was the reinforcement used. Now, me checking the book on Kitu say, iron was out there then. You wouldn't size. So an engineer with his thought can do a proper interrogation for you. And my education to our friends, people should take their safety a bit serious. Now, engage engineers at a fee reasonable for them to run these things for them. So when they are sleeping, they are sound. Remember, me sit down do a crack when you so. Me, I'm not a project. I engage my colleague who's a structural engineer because say if I'm doing my personal project and maybe I tell watch me say take it and do it away at least as a medical doctor on our hospital go Dr. Cheno. I made my engineer do the design for me at a fee that I paid. I went to the assembly for 3 to 4 months. I went through the process. This is my soil test, me and soil test. HF, I'm a drawing from opinion, and I'm a development permit or assembly. No, that's my colleague. Why didn't I even say because they are my colleagues, I can do that? They can't come and stop me, or because I have some familiarity. I did the process from
the scratch.